All right, so in this video, we're going to take a look at just one quick example of how to uh, graph something when it's not in vertex form. So really, we just got to find what the vertex is and either put this thing in vertex form by completing the square or using the P and Q formulas. So we're going to do it both ways here, just as a little recap. All right, so y is equal to negative x squared minus 10x minus 21. So let's do it by completing the square. All right, so when we complete the square, we want to make sure that we lump those first two terms together and just bring the 21 over. Okay, then I'm going to, out of those two terms, factor out whatever is in front of the x squared term. In this case, it happens to be a negative 1. All right, so when I take that out, it's going to be x squared plus 10x minus 21. All right, so now that I've factored out the coefficient in front of x squared, I can go to work on completing the square. So I'm going to figure out what is half of 10. Well, that's positive 5. I'm going to square it to get plus 25. And then I'm just going to move that bracket out. And then I'm going to go, well, I can't just add 25 without subtracting it, but there now it's even. Okay, so I have my first three terms make up a perfect square trinomial, so I got to get rid of this guy. And as I bring that term out of the brackets, I have to multiply it by the negative 1 that it's being multiplied by in front. So that leaves me with y is equal to negative 1 x squared plus 10x plus 25 inside. As the negative 25 times the negative 1 comes outside, that gives me positive 25. Okay. And then that's minus 1 x plus 5 squared plus 4. So I've completed the square, and that's the vertex form. All right, now let's do the same thing, just you guys can compare it. And really, you do need to know both methods, but really, in the end, it's just whatever you find is easiest. So here we're going to use the P and Q formulas. All right, so in this quadratic equation, we have A is negative 1, B is negative 10, and C is negative 21. So P is equal to negative B over 2A. So then P is equal to negative, when we plug negative 10 in for B, we get that. And when we plug in negative 1 for A, we get that. So as long as we're careful with our signs here, so negative times negative gives us, or negative 10 is positive 10 over negative 2. So P is equal to negative 5. And we, of course, can see that that completely coincides with, the vertex form that we previously did. Okay, so they're both agreeing that the x-coordinate of the vertex is negative 5. So now I'm going to take that and use the Q formula, C minus AP squared, and see what we get. So C is negative 21 minus A is negative 1. Let's move over a bit there. And P is negative 5, and we're going to square that. All right, first thing we do is we need to square the negative 5 then. So Q is negative 21 minus negative 1 times 25. Negative 1 times 25 is negative 25. Here we're adding a negative, so that's plus. So negative 21 plus 25 is 4. And we can see that that agrees with our previous thing that we did as well. So whatever way's faster for you, they both have their little complexities from time to time. All right, so if we want to then, of course, let's say we were just working with the P and Q formulas, we'd have to put into vertex form. So y is equal to a is the first thing. Well, a is just whatever a has always been. So -1. X minus p, well, I'm going to be x minus -5 is going to make it +5 squared plus 4. So we end up with the same, the same sort of vertex and direction of opening and everything in both ways. You guys just kind of have to choose the way that you like. All right, so once we do that, of course, just a quick recap of how to graph. So our vertex was -5, +4. So -5, +4. My graph's a little bit messed up here. But there we are, -5, +4. And we are growing upside down. So there's actually little lines here that aren't showing up on my thing. There's 4. Okay, so let me just take a second and just draw this line in. This line in. All right, so I then have to now look at this to how I grow my parabola, and it's basically just a regular parabola growing up or down instead of up. So 1 over 1 up becomes 1 over 1 down on both sides. 2 over 4 up becomes 2 over 4 down on both sides. 3 over 9 up becomes 3 over 9 down on both sides. And notice when I say 9 down, I'm always starting from the middle, going 3 over 9 down. Okay, so putting all that together, we have our nice parabola shape. And we're done. So the following questions are just a bunch of practice for you guys to kind of get used to this process of putting things into vertex form or just finding the vertex and graphing from there. So answers are at the back. Good luck.